Hello there guys and welcome to a brand new playthrough of The Outer Worlds. Here we go. We're going to be going on story because I'm not very good at first person shooters and I'll just end up dying all the time if I don't do that. Right, to tell you a little bit about the way I'm going to play this, I'm going to be reading out all of the dialogue options that I choose so you can just sit back and relax and you don't have to read anything. I'll see you after this cutscene.
Why stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars? Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes, thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber. You'll wake up in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity with guaranteed full employment. With only a minor term of service, you will become the master of your own destiny when you go out of this world to the Halcyon colony.
Hundreds of thousands of colonists left adrift out here forever, just to keep from damaging the board's bottom line. Disgraceful.
Well, I've got to say, guys, I'm not sure what was going on there, but we did have some quite bad frame rate issues. I have played this game already a couple of times. I've not completed it. I've only played the beginning, but I've started the game in several different ways to decide how I want to play it. So now I do know that, so I'm starting fresh. But we've never seen those kind of issues before, so I'm kind of hoping that it doesn't continue like that. Right, I want my persuasive skills, so I'm going to be turning up my charm for sure to maximum.
Attic enough to give the chairman a run for his bits.
And I also want to improve my handgun and my long gun, so I'm going to be putting my perception up as well, which is also going to help my dodge, my lockpick, my engineering, all useful stuff. So that...
Nothing gets past you. You would have made a formidable constable.
There you go. That is the way that I'm going to be playing this game. For my skills... Right, I'm not going to take... Let's have a think about this.
A crack shot. Capital.
Right, I do want to unlock the TTD effects, but I don't want to put that much into there, so I'll take that back off. But let's have a little look at what else I would quite like to unlock. Leadership, that is incredibly useful, so I'm going to take that.
Perfect. The colony's full of rabble.
And I'm also going to be taking my dialogue options. You can see here, there's the option for cower, where humans have 20% chance to cower in fear. There's lie, where you can scramble, 15% chance for auto-mechanicals will slowly attack other enemies instead of you. And we've got intimidate, where there's a 20% chance that creatures will become terrified and flee for 10 seconds after you kill one. All of that stuff is really, really good. And those things increase as you move up through this. So I'm going to pop that into dialogue.
If we're ever captured, I'll let you do the talking.
There we go. Right, aptitude. So what do we want on a bonus here? I think I might go for the science option or the engineering option. Yeah, I'm going to go for science. So we're going to take that.
Ready? We all start somewhere, I suppose.
Now for appearance, I'm going to go with a guy, and I'm actually going to recreate myself, which won't take me too long because I've had a good look through all of these options so far, and I know the one that's kind of closest to me. It's sort of this one. It isn't like me, but it is the one that's closest. I am a bit paler than that. I'm not that pale. Let's have a look at the... okay, it goes light again here. Probably around there. My eyes do change colour. Sometimes they're green, sometimes they're blue, and sometimes they are grey. They go quite pale blue. Not that pale. They're not ice white. But I think I'll go for my green option. Actually, today they are probably about this colour, so I'm going to go with that. I've just realised the dog is chewing the bottom of the microphone stand. So I hope that noise isn't carrying on up into the microphone. Here you go, Philippa. You play with that toy in your bed. Right, so I'm going to just make a couple of tiny tweaks, nothing too much. Bring that in a tiny little bit. I'll take my brow backwards a bit so it's not quite so heavy set. I'm going to move it up a tiny touch. I'm going to bring my eyes one step closer. No, I'm not. I'm going to leave them. Eyes vertical. I always put the eyes down from where they originally start because I think the cheekbones are too low and you cannot move the cheekbones higher. So I think to get your face to look like a normal face where cheekbones are in the correct position, you've got to pull your eyes down. Jaw vertical is about right, but I'm going to go with the nose first of all. I've broken my nose a couple of times, so I need to push the ridge of my nose out a little bit like that. But it isn't quite that wide, so I'll pull it in just a couple of touches like this. Vertical is about right. Cheeks, my cheekbones are a little bit bigger than this. I think that one's about right for me. All of those are looking pretty good. Let's just have a little look at nose size going down a touch. And then moving nose down. Oh, that's mouth. Where is it? Nose vertical, that's the one I want. And I don't want to move it up. I want to just touch it down a little bit. That's better. And there we go, that's not bad at all. So for hair, we are going for the one that's closest to mine, which is this one right here. I've had my hair various different colours over the years. Naturally, it's sort of like a mousy brown. I did dye it blue for a while. My friend, a couple of friends, when we were DJs back in the day, my friend Jed and my friend Cully, and also myself, we all dyed our hair blue. And at the time, my girlfriend, we were going out to a club, and my girlfriend was quite jealous that we all had blue hair and she didn't. So she wanted to dye her hair as well, but she didn't have any hair dye, and we were about to leave. So the only thing that she could find in her house to colour her hair at, saying her hair is really difficult. So the only thing she could find was a tin of spray enamel paint. It was kind of like a bronze colour, and she sprayed her hair with this paint so that she would have funky coloured hair on the night out. And I have to say, for several weeks after that, her hair was like a sodding Brillo pad. It was terrible. Right, the eyebrows which are closest to mine are the ones that are down here. Probably those. Facial hair. They haven't really got my facial hair, but the one I think works best for me is probably this one. I am closer to this one, but my beard is not that bushy. In fact, I'm somewhere in between those two, but my beard isn't this bushy, and it doesn't look like a load of pubes stuck on my face either. So I'm going to go for that. I have had a moustache like that in the past, and I'm going to go for a slight red tinge on my beard, because it is a little bit ginger, but I kind of shave it down to about a blade 3. So it's never this bushy, really. And actually, I might go for this dark colour. That's a little bit better. Keep the blue hair and go for this this quite dark colour beard. So that's not like me, but that's what we're going to go for. For features on the makeup, we're going to go to the nose scar, which is all the way up here. That one there. I have a scar on my nose exactly like that, but it's no longer open. It's now white as opposed to red, but that's exactly the right place. And that was done by someone smashing a bottle in my face in a nightclub. It was kind of rude. We're not going to go with any dirt, and none of these scars really work for me. They're all really deep. I do have a scar on my lip, but it's not there. It's on my top lip, and it's quite well hidden. But I'll tell you what, I might take that one. I mean, the scarring is very deep, isn't it? It's a shame you can't tone it down. I don't know whether to take that or not. Yeah, I've got a scar on my lip, so I'm going to take that. It doesn't look like that. It's not in that place. It's on my top lip. But it's kind of hidden, really. But it happened when I was a little kid, and my brother threw a dinosaur at me. So he had a little toy Stegosaurus, and he threw it at me. and it was spinning through the air, and it actually stuck into my face with the spines on its back, and I had to pull it out of my face, and it made a hole all the way through into my mouth. Leaving myself a couple of wrinkles around my... The wrinkles on the face beneath the eyes, look, these, they appear far too quickly and around the mouth before the forehead, and I want the forehead ones about there, but I don't want the mouth and the eye ones quite this strong. So for that reason, I'm just going to have this one right here. So there we go. That's not a bad likeness at all. Let me just go back from there. It looked like my face went funny and yellow. Why did my face go kind of yellow as we continued? Let's just have a little look at my skin tones. I think that's probably a bit closer to me. I've got a little bit of a tan at the moment. I'm a bit more like this. But I am going to go with... I'm going to go with this. I kind of like the contrast with the quite dark hair and then the light skin. I do like that. I think that looks quite good. So name, we're going to go with... I don't know why it goes to a capital letter there. So Katumi, because... Oh, let me just turn my television down so you don't get an echo. I apologise about any echoes on the cutscene earlier, but that'll be the last of those. I've got headphones on. My name in real life is Steve, so we're going to go with Katumi Stevens. So it's kind of like my... all over the place here. It's kind of like my name mixed in with my YouTube. There we have it. That is my new character. There is my little stats. I'm quite happy with that. And in we go.
Looks to be your lucky day, my friend.
Please power down your engines and prepare to be...
Not likely, bootlickers. Initiate skip jump.
Right, thankfully, that cutscene wasn't quite so frame rate issues. So.
Integrity down 25%. Power levels down 90%. Hit drive
Shit.
inoperable.
Ah, there you are. Wondering what's going on, eh? Bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of skip space and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take. Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes, well, not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully at all, but I guess we'll see, yes? Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists. I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck! you hear me? Is this thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry. I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you.
Hawthorne should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste. Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go.
Right, in real life I am a hypnotist, and I quite often use hypnotic language patterns when I'm chatting with people to persuade them to do things that I want them to do. I know that sounds a little bit evil, but it's just part of my nature. I've been doing it for so long, it's just very, very natural to use kind of very subtle patterns in your language to get the outcome that you would like in any interaction. And that could be being upgraded on flights, not having to queue at a nightclub, etc, etc. So I am going to be using the persuade skill quite a lot. Now, I'm not very keen on using the intimidate or the lie. I want to be a nice guy. I want to keep my kind of faction reputation up quite high with places, but I am most definitely going to be persuading people.
Easy now. You've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
Well, the camera's really quite sensitive looking around. I'm swinging around all over the place. I really should turn that down because it doesn't help when I'm trying to aim.
Hey, you. Come. You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, law, that stings.
Right, the way I'm going to play this, the little square brackets, if you choose that option, it gives you experience points, whereas the other options don't. So I'm going to tend to favour those options unless it's really out of character for the way I want to play the game. And in that case, I'm going to forego the experience points and go with what I would say in real life. The other thing, I'm going to read them out. So I'll read each one of them kind of in my head, and then I'll read aloud the one that I want to pick. And I'm going to do that all the way through because it's going to make it a lot easier for you to watch. You don't have to read these. So that's the way I'm going to do it. Unfortunately, it means there is going to be a pause after he said something, and then I'm going to reply. So, here we go. Sit still. I'm going to patch you up.
Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one. Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's Choice doesn't like us accepting outside help.
So how you feeling?
Better, thanks to you. I might have bled out on my own. Or worse, had to go begging the boss for some Adrena time. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters.
So, what's this about marauders?
Gibbering, flesh-eating, law-breaking, unemployed lunatics with guns. Some hull had grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh?
We're going to go with Persuade. If it's there, we're going to take it. Right, dude, I have got a much better idea. Why don't you give me your gun, and I'll go out and I will help.
Yeah, okay. You look like you know your way around a gun. Got some spare ammo, not counting the bullet in my side. Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all. All Spacer's Choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's Choice. Yes, nailed it that time.
Right, do you know absolutely anything about hope?
The Hope? Is that some sort of fancy new drug? Are you with Auntie Cleo or something? Don't take this the wrong way or nothing, but I'm not allowed to fraternize with Cleo workers. Company policy.
Rightio. Right, I'm off. I'll see you later. Right, if you've not seen a playthrough on this yet, or you've not played it yourself, then unfortunately, let me just put this away, you get your gun out all the time, and you can't really help it. If you go to talk to someone, it takes your gun out. If you go through a door, it takes your gun out. So you spend most of your time pointing your gun in people's faces, which on my first time, I mean, look, I've just got my gun out again. On my first time playing on this game, it was really annoying me, and I was putting my gun away because it kind of feels rude having your gun pointing in someone's face all the time. So I was trying to avoid that, but it is really unavoidable. So I do apologise, but for a majority of this game, I am going to be pointing my gun right in people's faces.
Damn it, my ears! Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What in the hell?
Right, this is tactical time dilation. It's like bullet time, really. It's a little bit like VATS on Fallout, apart from you still have to aim. Now, there is a perk that you unlock where if you're in this mode and you shoot people in a certain place, it's going to do like kind of extra damage. If you shoot them in the head, it's going to blind them, which is really, really useful. Some places make them bleed and cripple them and, you know, damage their armor and things like that. That is a really, really good perk if you're not very good at first-person shooters, so it's definitely worthwhile getting. Right, it doesn't last very long, but it does refresh. It's that little purple bar at the top of the screen, and you can pick up perks and improve it as you progress through the game. Right, these are locked, and the locking, like the hand picking, the hacking and the lock picking system doesn't require any kind of skill whatsoever. It's not like the little hairpins in Fallout or anything like that. It's just a case if you've got enough items to open the thing, you're going to be able to open it. If you haven't got enough items, you won't be able to open it. And the number of items that you need is actually reduced depending on the skill set that you choose at the beginning and also going through. So you can see I need 5 of the top one and 3 of the bottom one. I've got enough for that, so I could lockpick this, but I know what's in there, and it's just utterly shit, so I'm not going to bother picking that at all. It's just a weapon. It's like a melee weapon that I am definitely not going to use, so I'm going to leave that. But normally I would open everything. Well, I'm on fire. Don't walk in the fire. It's not good for you at all. Yeah, normally I'd open absolutely everything. I do think I might turn this sensitivity down in a bit. I'm going to give it a chance. You can hide in the grass really quite successfully. Stay still. It's a good idea as well to remember to turn that TTD off as soon as you've shot somebody, so you've got some left for the next person if you want to use it immediately afterwards. Right, I do have to say, there's no shortage of loot on this game. It's lying about everywhere. You quite often just see dead people like this, just lying around on the floor that you've not killed. And they've always got stuff for you to loot. So you really don't have to worry about like the money in the game or anything like that. You end up with loads of stuff. Whoops.
Hey! Get over here before you get yourself killed! Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators. Gall on that rung leech. Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about.
So I heard. I've just seen one of your teammates holed up in a cave back up the hill.
Really? How is he?
Well, he's still a moron, but I'm hoping you're a little bit brighter.
Of course I am. I'm a superior officer. Stands to reason, don't it? Just you watch. I'll cross these marauders off with a swift, cost-efficient fury that's made Spacer's Choice the most trusted brand in personal defense. I just, you know, need a couple of winks to catch my breath. Stretch my legs some.
Right, so you're telling me that Spacer's Choice guards back down from a challenge, yeah?
Well, sometimes. Management's real good at cost-benefit analysis. But, seeing as I'm the acting manager in this situation, you know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. Then it's gonna be fucking laminated.
I love that the report is going to be fucking laminated. That's such a nice touch, it really is. Right, let's give them a little bit of a hand, getting rid of a couple of these. And their armour's too good. Right, on a previous playthrough at this point here, I accidentally shot one of them because they ran into my my line of sight. So I'm gonna hold back and not do that again because it damages your reputation with the Spacer's Choice, which I didn't want to do. So yeah, that was really, really bloody annoying. The lieutenant who I've just been speaking to, she just ran straight in front of my bullets, and then because I'd shot her by accident, she immediately started shooting me. So I had to kill her, and I didn't want to. I was really bloody annoyed because I just started a new playthrough and I wanted to be. Where's the rest of them? I wanted it to be a playthrough where I was being a good guy, and then I immediately killed somebody that I shouldn't have killed. Yeah, a bit of a mistake that. Are these the ones I've taken? Yes. Where are they all? There was more than that. There was about 4 of them. Oh, well, never mind. I'm sure we'll find many, many more. Nothing to say before I pop into the ship?
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder. Hello, Marauder. I am Ada, the autonomous digital astrogator of this vessel. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction.
Right, so what exactly are you going to do? Are you planning on self-destructing?
Jettison procedures initiated. Disengaging airlocks. Preparing to eject all boarding parties in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Is something supposed to happen?
You're still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment.
Right, let's have a look. Right, Ada, is this Hawthorne's ship?
This vessel is the registered property of Captain Alex Hawthorne. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne.
Right, I'm not going to say this, it's a little bit naughty. So I am going to say, actually Hawthorne was supposed to meet me when I
I
landed.
deduce from the tone of your voice that Captain Hawthorne failed to meet you at the designated location.
That's correct. I'm not going to lie, it would give me a bonus, but I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to forego the XP on that one, and I'm going to say, actually, Hawthorne is dead, and I am really sorry.
I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand?
Right, I get it. You need me to be Captain Hawthorne, or you just can't fly, right?
Well done, Captain Hawthorne. I see your powers of deductive reasoning remain intact. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced.
Right, I'm going to go with the one that gives me a bonus. I've got to be honest, I really don't think I'm going to be able to find a part like that just kind of like sitting around in a garage.
Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new Captain's Identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand?
Captain Hawthorne of the Unreliable. I like it.
Thank you. I appreciate your cooperation. Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time.
Well, hey, we have leveled up. I've got to be honest, guys, I think Katumi Stevens put your gun away. Oh, whoops. Right, I'll be back. See you later. Bye-bye, Ada.
Goodbye.
Right, unfortunately, the button to put my gun away is also the button that talks. I have to be honest with you guys, I think Katumi Stevens, not necessarily me, but this guy with his beautiful moustache, has a little bit of a crush on Ada. He really does. She's quite nice though, isn't she? She's quite pleasant. I'm going to be nice to her. I'm not going to lie to her. Right, we have been promoted. We are going to level up. If you'd like to read this, then just pause for a moment because I'm going to carry on. So here we go. Right. And here we go again. Here's Auntie Cleo with some information about skill improvement. So if you'd like to read that, then you can pause the video. Rightio, let's crack on. Okay, right. Let's have a look at the things that we want. We want to improve this by 2 points because this is going to give us the TTD location hit effects for our handgun, for our long gun, and for our heavy weapons. I don't really use heavy weapons, but that is a very important skill. It's the one I mentioned where you can blind people and those kind of things. So if you're not very good at first-person shooters, like I'm not, then this is really something you want to unlock very, very early on. So I'll put 2 more points in here, and it will improve all of those 3 categories by 2 points. So there we go. So now we have unlocked the Novice, unlock TTD location hit effects. So what else do we want? Right, dodge. If I put 2 points in here, I'm going to get dodge forward, which is kind of like a double jump forwards. And there are some places in the game you cannot actually access without being able to do that. So that is something that's going to be very useful to take. Persuade dialogue. This will increase the effects of those little perks, but only when I get it up to 40. Now, I certainly haven't got enough to do that. We can get hack and lockpick up to 20. So that's doors and containers requiring 1 mag pick to unlock are now free to open. That's useful. And also unlock the ability to sell goods to vending machines. So that's not really that exciting. But we've also got science and engineering on 18. Based on our character, the things we're wearing, our weapons and things like that, we have got this slightly boosted by the way that we've set up our character. But I'm going to go for 2 points in here to get those up to the next level, like so. And I'm also going to pop a couple of points in here to improve this, I think. But let's just have a little look at our other options. Oh, I'm going to take the dodge. So I'll pop 2 points in defense. Now we have the ability to dodge forward. So that is quite useful sometimes to reach things that are out of reach. And aside of that, I think what we'll do maybe is we'll start to improve this. So this is going to push us towards improving our leadership. So our inhaler, which is the thing that kind of heals us, would heal our companion as well. Now in the mode I'm in now, that's not really an issue, because if our companion dies, they just get up again and they're fine and their health regenerates. But when you're in supernova mode, your companion can actually get killed permanently. So if you're in supernova mode, the leadership and the determination skills are vitally important, because you definitely don't want your companion to die. So if you keep an eye on them and you see that they are starting to take a little bit too much damage, then you can heal yourself with your inhaler, and that's going to heal them at the same time. So this skill is very, very important if you're playing on supernova. It's not quite so important here. But what is important and really quite useful is level 60, where your companion skill bonus to your player skills plus 100%. A little bit later, that becomes very, very useful. So I'm going to start working towards that. Now that means I've got to push my leadership up to 50 points, and then I'll have to level this up on its own. So it takes quite a lot of points to get there. So I'm going to start putting some points into this section right now. In fact, I'm going to put them all in there, which is taking our determination up to 20, which has now unlocked the ability to heal, as we said, our companion. So we're going to apply that. There we go. So we do have the ability to target an enemy and then say to our companion, use this ability, use that ability, rather than them being like completely automated by just using the D-pad. Right, this is telling you about the things I said, where you can cripple people, blind them, make them bleed, and things like that. And now we need to pick a perk. Right, perks, what she's telling you just there, if you didn't read it, you get to pick a perk only every other level. So the next time I level up, I won't get one of these, but I will the following time. And I've got to choose 5 from tier 1 before I can go down to tier 2. So what do we want? Early on in the game, some of these I'm absolutely going to want to have, but I don't need to get them straight away. This one, I definitely want that, and you'll see why later. Also, where is it? This one, I definitely will want that one as well. This is going to be useful. This is very, very useful, actually, but it's not that important. I'm not going to be partying alone very often, so I'm not going to be taking that at all. Early on, I think these two are really quite handy, because it really annoys me how slowly you walk and sprint. So, I've got to say, these are a little bit of a waste to get, because this is something I definitely want, and also this is something I definitely want, but it does annoy me when I'm not running fast, so I'm going to take that, and I'll just have to build up some points and take these later. But of course, we do have to pick 5 from tier 1 before we can continue, so I've got to pick them. So let's apply this, and now we'll continue. Alright, so our double leap thing, I'll show you when we get outside. Alright, so we can't...
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, mister, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. Afraid we gotta dock your pay.
Right, you have got it all wrong. I am a Starship Safety Inspector.
Oh, by the law. I'm so sorry. I had no idea we had an inspector coming. If you'd like to speak with my manager, I'd report to Constable Reyes in Edgewater. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
Right, take care. See you later, Lieutenant. Have a lovely day. Bloody hell. Right, if you excuse me, I'll just completely vanish. Oh, there's a buddy. So where did the Lieutenant go? She went very quickly. Oh, there she is. She just teleported to behind me. Right then, so we're going to head over towards Edgewater. Now that I have unlocked the tactical time dilation, I feel a little bit more confident about going into battles and blinding people. So there is a marauder camp on the way. I just let the sound of the motorbike go by. Right, we've got fly agaric mushrooms all over the place. But unfortunately we can't pick them and we can't eat them, so we're not going to be having any fun with those, which is a real shame. But it's nice to see that they're there. Right, we're going to pop over here and grab this little bit of loot. You find a lot of stuff lying around like this. And whoops, got a little bit close. Right, I'll show you. Now it's going to give us the option to blind this guy and make him bleed. There we go. So he's blind and he's bleeding, and I'm just going to run away a little bit because I'm an absolute pussy. Because the others are coming, and I haven't got much of that. See, that guy's now died, so that is such a useful thing. And if I'm... So you can see that it also kicked in with my ability to terrify them a bit. Blind him again. So you see how useful that is? I mean, I am really, really bad at first-person shooters, but stuff like that, where you can sort of blind them so they can't hit you. I mean, they still shoot at you quite successfully, but there's a much less chance that they're going to actually hit you. But also making them bleed, it really, really does help. So blind them, make them bleed, and then just run away. Where did the other one? Oh, there he is. So we've taken off these guys, sort of like they were kind of on patrol, and we're going to have a little look at our different weapons that we've just picked up. So I'm going to equip, I should have done it earlier, I'm going to equip this in case someone gets really close to me so I can switch over to my melee and then attack them. So we'll pop that in there. And also the assault rifle as well. If they get a little bit too close, the assault rifle is going to be quite handy, so we're going to be equipping that as well. But I want to swap the order over. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. So I'm going to go on my options, and I'm going to swap the order of this with this one here. So that means when I've got my assault rifle equipped, I can press the Y button and it will very quickly switch over to this weapon. It kind of goes through them in order because I'm intending on shooting some stuff with this gun, and if they all run at me quite close, I want to switch over to this one very fast. So that's the idea behind that. So if you set your weapons up in the way that you're going to want to change through them, that helps. It really does. So there are some nasty little creatures knocking around here as well. It's not just these marauders. Just make sure there's nothing down here in case I need to run back. No, there isn't. Now, whatever I shoot first, I think everything's going to come running after me. Let's go and open this case. You get experience for almost everything in this game. Whatever you do, it chucks experience at you. So I'm gonna get this thing first. Right, now we've done that, I want to blind this guy, and I want to blind this dog. Oh, bleed, that'll do. And I also want to blind this. Shit, I was bent down already. I thought I'll duck behind this rock, and I already was. I need like some sort of aim assist. I'm just not very good at aiming. But I do like how you can just pop off one bullet for situations like that. Ooh, there we go. We need to turn that off. Right, so when you've shot some stuff, always remember to go and loot it. If it's got any loot. So where did the bloke go? If you're anything like me, you're going to shoot people, and then you'll have no idea where they died. You just have to leave it. Oh, there's one of them, look. There's a mod on Fallout 4 where you can make corpses glow. And I need that mod. I just really, really struggle with remembering where it is that I shot somebody. Right, this dude should have the hunting rifle, which is incredibly useful. That's why it's worthwhile coming over here. Now, the main objective is to immediately go over to Edgewater, but that gun is really bloody useful. And it's quite handy to come and pick it up right here nice and early. Get inside this. Now all the little bits of food and things that I'm picking up, they all give you some sort of perk. I'll pop into my inventory in a bit and show you some of the things in there. Right, armor mod, increase your carrying capacity. Some armor parts, that's just general things. Mr. Power, melee weapons mod. Attack changes the damage type out to plasma damage. So you get some useful shit, you really do. There's a lot of stuff for you to tinker with when you've got a workbench. There is a workbench on your ship. You do have to unlock the ability to tinker, but it's such a low requirement to unlock it. I think that pretty much almost any build that you want to go with, you're going to unlock that ability very, very quickly. We're not going to bother going up there. There's just up there. There's like a bottle that you can pick up, but there's nothing else up there. It's not really worth the time. So we're now going to start heading towards Edgewater. These residents are not going to have anything. No. There's another one down there, look. No, it's been looted. Ah, there is some stuff on the floor though. I'll tell you what, I've never seen all that stuff there before. I've started this game quite a lot of times. I've not got very far through it. I've just started to kind of test out different ideas, different builds, different ways of playing until I found one that I liked, which is what I'm doing now. So that's why I've started recording this new playthrough. But I've never seen that stuff there, where that guy was just lying on the ground. Right, and I know I'm going to get my gun out straight away, but I am going to put it away just to go and, you know, chat to this dude here.
Hey, where'd you come from?
Just up that hill.
Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's Marauder territory, friend.
Actually, my pod crashed in the hills back there, so I didn't really have much choice.
Your pod?
Yeah.
What are you on about? You take a bruise to the cranium? Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls and low prices.
Right, I'm going to lie. So it's really nice to meet you, Silas. I am Alex Hawthorne. I'm the captain of the Unreliable.
Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family.
Right. Who exactly do I need to talk to about getting a power regulator?
Definitely not the junior in humor, that's for sure. If you've got business inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower above the cannery. Head into town, follow the road.
Okay, dude. Thank you very much. I'll be on my way. Right, you can actually pick up a side quest from this guy where you have to go and collect some money from a few different people. I'm going to avoid those kind of things on this playthrough because they really don't add anything to the story and it kind of just distracts you and it means the playthrough is going to be much, much longer than it otherwise would need to be. So I am going to really focus on the main objective and then maybe do like the odd side quest if it looks like it's something quite exciting or interesting. But I'm very much going to take into consideration you guys watching this as well as me playing it. Now, normally, I would try and uncover everything, but I'm going to leave some of that stuff. And then when I do my playthrough on Supernova mode, I am going to do everything. So I am a bit of a completionist, but for this playthrough, we are going to stay much more focused on the task in hand. Right, so this is Edgewater. So we're going to pop into here. and then we're going to call it a day. I'm going to go in here, I'm going to open up my inventory, I'm going to have a look at my loot so far that I've picked up, and then we are going to close down this video. This is video number 1. Please do leave a comment on it. Let me know what you think about the way I'm doing the dialogue options. I know I'm not reading it exactly as it is there, but I did kind of do that, and it just doesn't sound right. It sounds like very, very bad acting. So I'm going to ad-lib a little bit, but what I say is always going to be based on what the options are. But of course, there's going to be a little pause whilst I read the options that are available to me and then choose which one that I'm going to pick. So please do leave a comment, let me know what you think, leave a like if you've enjoyed this video. I do apologise if you'd already started watching my previous 3 uploads on this, but the way I was playing that, I was kind of ruining the game in my opinion. I think this game is going to be really, really good if you play it right. If you just go around all guns blazing and kill everyone, I think you're going to miss out on a lot of enjoyment. So that's why I've decided to start this over and play it much more like the person that I am, as opposed to, you know, just shooting everybody in the face. It's just not right. And what I'd also like to do, and I did mention this on a previous video that I made, when you're actually setting up your character, you can turn your stats down, and if you turn your intelligence down, that unlocks the ability to say dumb things. Now, I wouldn't normally say dumb things. I'd normally be quite helpful with people, I'd be quite persuasive, I'd be a little bit manipulative if I wanted to, but I'd never really say dumb shit. But I think it'd be quite interesting to do a playthrough where I do say dumb shit. So if that's something you're interested in, I'd have to do that as a different playthrough. To do that, when you set up your character, you've got to put your intelligence down. That unlocks the say dumb shit option, and then you have new dialogue options available for you. So if I do that as a playthrough, that means whenever I can say something stupid, I would be choosing that option, and then hopefully we can see kind of like what direction that takes the game. I don't think it's going to make a massive difference, but it would be really, really interesting if it did, you know, ultimately lead to an alternative ending. That would be really quite interesting to see. So it is something that I'm quite interested to see, but I want to play the game through like this first of all. So this is going to be my main playthrough. So again, I do apologise if you'd watched my previous videos. I am now switching over to this one, and I'm not going to continue the playthrough on those, but it's going to be quite an easy transition if you've already watched those ones coming over to this. So let's have a little look inside my inventory before we shut down the game. Right, so a tossball blocker from Spacer's Choice. Right, I reckon this could do a bloody lot of damage if you hit someone with it. It looks like a car jack. And, oh, there we go. That's actually an Xbox notification, that was, on my phone. So this hunting rifle, I wanted this. Quite happy that I got that. It's going to be very, very useful. And all this stuff I'm going to break down, but I'm not going to break it down just yet because there is a mod that I will be getting. Not a mod, a perk, where I've got like an increased chance of getting a mod from a weapon when I break it down. So I'm going to kind of be hanging on to stuff until I've got that, and then I'll start breaking my stuff down. I haven't yet changed my armor. I'm still in my default armor. And I don't have any more, which is really surprised me. I could have swore I picked up armor off people as I was killing them. I'm sure I did, so that's quite a surprise to see that there. But so there we go. I don't really like this. I don't like how when I hover over something, this information box is covering the other stuff. I'd much rather that information box was over on the right where my character is standing, and it didn't cover up the other weapons as I'm looking around. Right, you can see here that this needs to be fixed. It's got a little spanner icon. It's on 98.7 condition. It doesn't need to be fixed yet, but just be aware that you do have to fix your weapons. If you've got the necessary skills, you can fix them out in the field. If you haven't got the necessary skills, then you've got to kind of do it while you're on your ship at your workbench. And we can see that this... this condition is perfect, so I'm quite happy with that. But this does use heavy weapons, and I haven't got many of those. Oh, I've got 83. I've got a lot more than I thought. I didn't think I'd picked any up. So, what else do we have in here? All of this stuff, just very quickly, this is your default health. This goes into this slot here automatically, and every time you press the left shoulder button, it does that inhaler thing. And that uses whatever you have inside these 4 slots. So I've not unlocked these ones yet, but I will unlock them as I progress through the game. And then what you can do is put any of these things into one of these slots, and then when you use your inhaler, it's going to use whatever is inside these until you run out. So by default, this one just gives you some health. So it heals 25% health over a couple of seconds. So it lasts for 2 seconds. You do regenerate health anyway all the time. So if there's no enemies around, you can kind of leave yourself to recuperate. This stuff, have a little look through what some of these things do, because some of them are really quite good. So this one increases your personality attributes, lasts for 30 seconds, but obviously you get pissed, so you get a hangover and your perception goes down and you're not that charming. Quite a few of the other ones. This one increases your body attributes for 30 seconds. Most of the food does the same stuff. 200% natural health regeneration for 2 minutes. Really, really handy this is if you're walking into something that looks like you're going to be struggling. And most of the food does that. So you'll see this does the same, this does the same. This one here, a little bit different here. Ranged weapons sway, minus 50%. So this is kind of like holding your breath on most other games. But we've also got the ranged weapons spread, minus 50%. So it's a lot more focused, and also your sway is better. And a 15% bonus on a couple of the other ones. And we'll just have a look at this. There you go, so base health plus 25% for 2 minutes. So most of the stuff you pick up does things quite similar to this. And then as I say, once you've unlocked these slots up here, you can choose one of these and then just pop it up in there. Which I've got to be honest, I didn't really do that. I didn't want to use my other kind of like boosts just when I was healing myself. So for a long time I just left it on this. But you find loads of these. So you do pick up quite a lot of those as you progress through the game. It says 13 in here, which is those plus this one. So there you go. That's the way that your healing thing works. And if I just pop over to here, these are my modifications that I've currently got. And once I've got that perk, which enables me to get mods out of a weapon when I break it down, then you end up getting a lot more of this kind of stuff. So it's really, really worthwhile getting that perk, because when you sell your stuff back to a trader, sometimes you get one of these little mods which are really quite valuable. So yeah, that really helps you to make money. That's my lockpick stuff. These weapon parts, that's what you get when you break down your weapons, and this is what you get when you break down your armor. They're quite useful for tinkering. That's my ID, which the Ada with the beautiful mind gave me this, and it identifies me as Alex Hawthorne. I did, on a previous playthrough, actually call myself Alex Hawthorne to see if that would change my dialogue options with Ada. I was wondering if there was something hidden in there, but unfortunately it didn't do anything. But that would have been interesting. And then here we've got junk. I mean, it calls it junk. I don't believe that this necklace is junk, but anything that you won't be able to use, it automatically slaps it into here, and then you can sell your junk to like traders, which is quite useful. So it's just to get you more bits, and bits is the currency in this game. Right, just show you the map before we shut down. So we're going to be zooming out a little bit. So this is the map of Edgewater, where I am right now. But if I pop over here, and this here is my landing site. That's where Alex Hawthorne's ship is. So you can teleport to that at any time. And now that we've unlocked Edgewater, we can also teleport here. So we can fast travel around. Now, if you are... That's the encampment that I raided before I came over. If you are in supernova mode... there is a little bit of a cheat that you can do. If you're about to go into battle, then pop into this screen and fast travel to your ship, and then immediately go into the load and save screen and load your autosave, and you'll then be back at where you were, just about to go into battle. So it does an autosave just before you fast travel, which I think is something that they're probably going to change. I think they'll change the autosave to just after you fast travel at your ship, because on supernova mode you're not supposed to be able to save. But by doing this, it's a slightly lengthier process, but it means you can save anywhere. So you're about to attack people, you don't know if you're going to be killed, you can't save on supernova mode, so instead you fast travel, it automatically does an autosave, you reload that, and then you're back at the place where you're about to attack people. You attack them, if they kill you, you just reload your autosave again, and you're back in exactly the same place, ready to attack them. So that is it's something that means that supernova mode is a damn sight easier than it otherwise would be, because otherwise you're going to attack someone, they all come running at you, you die, and then unfortunately you go back to wherever you last saved, and the only place that you can actually save is on your ship when you sleep, which you don't do that often. So there you go. If you are playing in supernova mode, then use that. It's really going to help you out. So we're on an hour. That is the end of video number 1. I'm going to continue with this style of playthrough. Let me know what you think. I would be very interested to hear what you think about the way I'm doing the dialogue options. So give me a bit of feedback on that. And if you're enjoying this video, please do give it a thumbs up. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.